So thank you, Irene, so much for joining me to talk a little bit about your experience inside of Amplifying Potential. You've just completed the course minus the virtual retreat, which is coming up. So I just want to take a moment to have you talk about your experience, your learnings, and share with people who might not really have any idea what this is really about and give them a little bit more context. So let's start off with, what were your reasons for taking the Amplifying Potential training?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me to do this with you today, Shelley. So back in March, the start of COVID, you hosted a CEREC seminar, a webinar, and there were key messages that really resonated with me, and they are living each day with intention, focused on being. And coming from a corporate environment, it's all about doing, not about being. So that was of interest to me. The other was taking this time through COVID to create the world that you want to live in. And I think a lot of us had already started experiencing I've got way too much to do. It's too busy. I can never get anything done. I feel like a rat in a maze. Help. And but it was also going into a doom and gloom scenario of COVID. But hearing you say, look, this is a positive experience. You can actually create the life you want. You can become more authentic, is what I also heard. And I thought, I want to know more. And so when the course was offered, I thought, I've got to take it. There was a real curiosity. And also because I am questioning, why am I here? What do I want to be when I grow up? And so all of that combined led me to say, now I'm going to take this course.
Good for you. I'm so glad you did. Following that curiosity has led me to some of the most amazing places. So yeah. I love that you brought that up, the curiosity to just want to lean in and listening to that.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Okay, so how has the program and the tools that you've learned from it impacted you on a personal level?
Well, going back to the curiosity, that it's really fueling my curiosity about who I am at this time in my life. Because I really feel like we, society, the world, but in particular me, I'm at a crossroads. I know that there's more to what I can do. And, the whole NLP, I've been interested in it for years. And now I'm actually not only learning about it, but implementing it. And wow, it's, it's so impactful. It's helped me feel more powerful, more in control. And the other thing too, is that I have read a lot about NLP. I'm love the whole world of neuroscience. And I also have a meditation practice. So it's all synthesizing, all the learnings and everything are melding together. And it's impacting me personally in terms of validating who I am, what I'm feeling, and also giving me the sort of the groundwork about making change in my life and not being afraid or anxious about it.
Right. Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Yeah, letting go of that fear and anxiety, because from what I've seen from my own journey and then from everybody taking the program, is the more that you get rooted and centered into who you truly are, then it creates the space for you to confidently continue moving forward and creating new things from there, versus being on this unshaky foundation of, but who am I and what do I want and where am I going?
Mm-hmm. The big thing for me too, and I'm sure it impacts a lot of other people, is the whole competitiveness. Like, I think I'm okay where I am and I think everything's great. And then Jane does something and I think, oh gosh, she's better than me. She's smarter than me. So it's also dealing with, I am enough. We did one of those meditations, and I am worthy, I am deserving, I am enough. And saying it enough and believing it. So,
Mhm.
it's
Yes.
just a lot of conditioning that we've, I bring, a few decades of conditioning with me, and I want to understand it and move forward in a more positive way.
Amazing. Yeah. I love that. Really letting go of the old story, the old limiting beliefs that aren't serving you, and anchoring into your truth that you are worthy, you are enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's brilliant. That is everything right there.
As the whole world is changing, it's going to be a new world. So I can now have a new world as well. I think that's exciting, right?
Yeah.
And that's,
my goodness.
that thought, that first webinar that I experienced with you was like, the light went on and I thought, oh, wow, I want to be part of that. So it is exciting.
Yes, absolutely. It is exciting. And you get to create it from here.
Yeah.
I love that. So how would you say that what you've learned and the tools you've gained and going through this experience has impacted your work or your professional life?
Well, going back to authenticity, when I may have mentioned this to you and the group earlier, but just around the time that we stopped for Christmas, around those last few days, I just felt lighter. I was enjoying my work a lot more. The webinars that I led, like instead of trying to be perfect and having everything being so in control of everything, I let it go. And I had so much fun, and people had so much fun. And so it's living more authentically is a lot more freeing. And you can actually have fun doing that. And anyway, that was really important. But the other thing too that I've started introducing some of the modalities that you've taught us. I can't I haven't done the ring of power, but I've done something similar where I ask a client to talk about what's stopping them from doing something, talking about the emotions, feeling the emotion they want to feel, experiencing that feeling. And anyway, so it's dealing with an entire person. It's not just their thoughts, it's the feelings behind the thought. It's, what do they really think? So my authenticity is helping them be more authentic and look at their feelings, be more curious, be not so afraid of making the right or wrong decision. So it's opening things up, it's freeing. And I think we need that in the world of work because everything is changing for the people I work with in the same way that it's impacting me.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love that you're doing that. And that's a big piece of this program is, you're applying it to yourself first. You're using it, you're going through your own journey and I'm watching it unfold along with you. And then you're also taking what you learn and modeling it and teaching it and helping other people in the same way while you are embodying it and you're the living, breathing example of it.
Yeah. So asking a lot more questions about what they believe, what they assume, how they feel about things. And anyway, and yeah, it's just getting to know my clients without in a less limiting way than I may have before.
Amazing. I love that. And what were your favorite aspects of the program?
I loved every week's learning lessons, but you know what I really couldn't, at first when you had the coaching hour, I thought, what's that going to do? I really don't understand that. And it was more like, I didn't know really what was going to happen. I thought it was going to be more like a check-in. And but I have learned so much from the coaching hour every week. And, just the experience, having the other participants share their experiences and how we are all interconnected and how we're also supportive and open-minded and authentic. I mean, we say what we really mean. We don't have, I don't know what it is. And, this is obviously a self-limiting belief I had, but nobody's putting on airs, or this is who they are.
Yeah.
And I, we're loving each other as we love ourselves, warts and all. I don't know all the answers. Whoever said I had to, where did this whole thing about perfection come through? I can't know everything. I can't be everything to everybody. That's okay. But most of us, have felt the negative effects of that, right? Not feeling worthy, not deserving, less than. So the coaching hour has been extremely supportive, and it's really like with compassion, loving kindness. Like, I couldn't be in a better group is basically what I'm saying.
Amazing. It is incredible to me how we always end up with the exact perfect group of people that come together at the exact right timing. And yeah, there's no mistakes in the people who have come together in your cohort. Those office hours have been incredible. And it just, for me, it's so amazing to see everybody learn from each other. One person's talking and sharing, and everybody's getting their own insights and ahas around it. And it's a coach one, coach all model. So as I'm coaching one person, everybody else is seeing themselves in it and getting their own learning and insight from it too. And that's a huge amount of added value.
And the one thing that I did forget to say that's in my notes is that I feel very blessed to have met you. You are really, you're amazing. This is you're at the right, you're doing the right, not the right. This is who you are. It's genuine Shelley, and how you are able to share your knowledge and insight to help us find ourselves and find our purpose is you're really one of a kind. I really have to say that, because I have taken many courses throughout the years, and I feel really the stars, the moon, and the sun aligned. It was for all the five of us.
Yes, I absolutely agree. And that means the world to me. So thank you. I do absolutely feel like I am in my right place.
Oh, you
my
are.
right thing. And yeah,
definitely.
So thank you. Thanks a lot. Okay. So what benefits have you experienced moving through this program in a group atmosphere with other like-minded people? I think you've touched on this already, but how would you say that added support compared to a program where you would maybe just show up, go through on your own, listen to the training material, and that be it?
Well, it is the sense of community, the sense of belonging. And I think it's even more important now because of COVID and because everything is done online. And it often is a webinar atmosphere where you're a participant, but not an active participant. And we are interactive in the lessons every week, but also the coaching hour. And you've said it a few times, it's when you hear yourself say what you've said, where you go, wow, I did know what I was talking about, or I've just said what I've been thinking I didn't know. Like, that's why, and also having the opportunity to hear the weekly lessons and the coaching hour again, wow, it's mind-boggling. It really, mind-boggling in a positive way. the words of wisdom. You just can't get that. Well, and the other part too is everybody's so willing to share.
Mm.
I just find that we're all open vessels.
Yes. Yeah, the container is set like that very intentionally from the very beginning, that it is a safe and sacred place. It is a confidential place. It is a place of judgment, of zero judgment. It's a judgment-free zone, a place of trust. And in setting that from the very beginning, everybody is so open and so willing to play. And that has just created an incredible atmosphere for all of us to grow together and to share, what works for you, which would then transfers into other people to know what they need to hear as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
It's really, yeah, it's quite, it's fun. It's exciting. It's remarkable. I've just really had such a good time. And of course, as you know, this is also, it's just a part of our day, our week. Because, some of us are working, some of us are volunteering. We had somebody who was in job search, and we have our lives. And so this has been such a lovely addition to my life. It's taking me, it's taking me out of the routine, the normal everyday, and helping me dream and think about things very differently for other people's perspectives and insights. And that you don't get that every day.
No, you definitely don't. That's incredible. Thank you for sharing that. So if you could tell me about your favorite or most influential moment through the Amplifying Potential journey, what would that be?
I'm going to actually have to say two. So the one, honest to God, I've been going through all the lessons, as I had mentioned earlier, and I'm so surprised because it's when I'm reading the material or looking at the recorded session, it's like I'm there again, and it's like, wow. But the Ring of Power was, even now when I think about it, it gives me chills. That was quite something. And we all, every one of us on this planet, have the potential to do that.
Yes, every day.
And to experience it every day. Yeah, and as often as you want during the day.
Yeah.
And the physiology of excellence, I use that a lot. Yeah, and so you wonder why things are working out better for me. It's because my whole attitude is so much more open. And I think sometimes I think the whole thing about it's positive, but I'm not always expecting it to be positive. And if it isn't, it's okay. Everything is an opportunity to learn and to reflect.
Right.
So those two were, the highlights for me. There's so many other ones, but they're the ones that I use, and they're go-tos. And the physiology of excellence is something that I've used with a couple of clients, and wow, they just couldn't believe it. So it's fun.
Amazing. I love that you're describing, tangible tools and techniques that are taught throughout the program, because sometimes it's hard to know when you're getting into something. Is this going to be usable, or is it just going to be information? Is it something I can implement and action, which is a big part of what I believe in, that what I teach you, you need to be able to go and implement and integrate into your life. And the Ring of Power and the physiology of excellence are both exactly that, that you can, you operate from. They're tools and techniques you use for yourself to get yourself into a powerful state of being, and do that whenever you choose, and be able to guide others to do the same if you choose. So those are great examples.
Yeah, and we it's nice to have those tools to access when you're not feeling that way, right?
Right.
So just to remind yourself that this is inside of you. It's
Yes.
not something you have to, run out and purchase or do in a special way. It's very easy techniques.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank you for sharing those with us.
Yes. Oh, it's my absolute pleasure. Yeah, it's a great reminder that you have the ability to manage your own state. So if you're not feeling the way you want to feel, you can learn how to change that. If the thoughts you're thinking, the beliefs you have aren't supporting you, you can learn how to change that. So that's such a great reminder. Thanks, Irene. All right. And lastly, can you tell me about some of the specific results you've been able to achieve with the Amplifying Potential tools and the learnings, sort of looking at where you are now compared to where you were before this program?
Well, where I was before this program was really, what's the word? Everything was just all right. It wasn't really, I didn't, oh gosh, disempowered. I think that would be a good word. Doing what I was doing, knowing that I could do it, but feeling like been there, done that.
Yeah.
Also, the one thing we have to remember is it is through COVID times. So we're limited in our ability to connect with anyone outside of our household. There is a lot of stimulation, but you have to find that stimulation yourself by either, and it's usually virtually or maybe perhaps reading a book. But what is fun about this is that you're really going inside. You're digging deeper. There is so much inside of all of us. It's the iceberg theory, right?
Right.
And so it's, we have the answers inside us. It's really bringing those out through some very effective exercises that we did. So I'm also incorporating some life experiences that I've shared with you in the group that are making me look at things a little bit differently than I did at the beginning of the program, during the program. And it's a we are in continual self-development mode and self-evolution mode, right? So that, the theme for me, I think, is curiosity, and opening up your ideas to include things that you would not normally think about, things that you may think are above your pay grade. It's looking at the world a little bit differently.
Right.
With
Amazing.
awe and curiosity instead of, nope, this is all I'm going to do, and be happy you have that,
Yeah.
It's really, the whole thing that really, another light bulb moment was really the pain to purpose.
Can you say more about that?
Well, it's when we talked about the pain to purpose that I realized that it's how, I was a Weight Watcher leader at one time, and that was because of, it's, the whole thing about, I had been through that journey, so I can now help people who were further behind on the bus with their journey. Yeah. And I really enjoyed it, and I was really good at it. And going into career and / transition work, really the transition work, is also because I spent the first half of my life in jobs and in 2 careers that I did because, yes, I had those skills, but I had outgrown them, and I wasn't very happy in them. And I went through the whole self-exploration process to find out, who am I? What do I want to do? What brings me excitement? Where connecting more with the genuine Irene Zimmerman, right? And so, and I want to do more. So I want to take it to another level, and that's basically why I'm here. And so it's looking at how I can, what is the new pain that I'm going through? What am I? And, I think about grief and about loss. And again,
Yeah.
a lot more transition work, but at a different level.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. Yeah. So much that has emerged just by looking at what's going on in your life, what's showing up for you, what's calling you, what experiences you've gone through that have prepared you for where you're about to go next, and being able to hold all of that, because it's not always easy.
No.
Right? It's not always an easy task that we're embarking on when it's our purpose. But it's something that you learn how to hold all the emotions around it. You learn how to navigate the emotions and what to do with them, how to, prepare yourself and your mindset, your emotional intelligence, and your actions all sort of going in the direction of your calling. So yeah, so much of that has unraveled for you right before my eyes, and I'm so excited to be witness to your journey.
Yeah, and I'm really happy that you are coaching us, guiding us through this. It's couldn't have done it without you, Shelley, and with the group. Because I think what I would have done is just said, it's too much for me to deal with. I don't know where to go from here. Without maybe looking at it, with an investigative, why is this happening? What's the universe trying to tell me here? I want to know. Does that make sense?
I love that. Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing your experience through the program. And I can't wait to see what's next for you. Thanks for being here, Irene.
Thank you very much. Have a great day, Shelley. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.